All right. And can I get your name for the documentary?
My name is Sarah Luiz, Mr. Donovan.
Cool. Of course, everyone should probably know that by now, I suppose. You know what I mean?
should
Your
hope
local
so.
celebrity.
Well, it used to be international.
Well, how old are you, Sarah?
I am going to be, I'm 47, towards 48. Can you believe it?
Can't believe it. You look great for your age.
Oh, please.
Nah.
You're so kind.
But well, why don't you explain to us how long you've been homeless for? How long you've been living on the streets?
Well, I've been living on street for almost a year now, and then I've been in and out of shelters and bouncing around from this situation and that situation for probably about 3 years when I met my lovely husband, Mr. Todd Curry, and from the Curry family, a very wealthy oil family from Midland, Texas, and I loved him. I tried to do everything I could for him. I was at the top of my game, and I lost everything by supporting both of us, and he had a lot of mental, physical issues, and I went down the toilet.
Now, I've seen, several video clips of you on various different talk shows and radio shows and TV broadcasting and whatnot. Did you meet him prior to all of this occurring, or did you actually get together with him after you already got some notoriety?
Oh, I met him a long time later. Yeah, I was, when I got in the media, it was 1989, and came out finally on the front page of the Boston Globe, and from there I went worldwide, and in 1989 Fox News made me the most talked about person in the country, and a couple of years later Miramax Films did a coffee table book of 101 of the most talked about people in the world in the last 30 years, and I was on one page and the Prince of Monaco was on the other, and I've dated the ambassador of Brazil, counts. Some of the most pristine men in the world have flown around to meet me, although I don't look like it right now, but I used to be attractive.
Well, I mean, it's pretty hard, in your situation, just finding an adequate place to go and just take a shower or clean your clothes and stuff like that.
Well,
right?
I know, that's why I'm working really, really hard the past few days, and to be able to have an opportunity to take a shower. I mean, it's so funny. I used to have Learjets, and I drank the most expensive champagne in the world, and if I wanted Italian, I'd go to Italy. If I wanted French, if I wanted French, I'd go to Paris. If I wanted Italian, I'd go to Italy. For food, money was no object, and now just to have a hot shower, be able to have a locked door, be able to watch HBO or Cinemax is like a treat.
Now, so tell me a little bit about how this occurred. How did you end up, in this situation in the first place? I mean, it seemed like everything was on the up, and you were in love, and everything was good. What started the whole process, which inevitably put you here on the street of Monterey?
Well, I used to live here like 15 years ago and had an amazing experience in Monterey. I came here, I left my family, which was really, really hard because I had a dying mom and sister that both were really, really ill, and I had been a caretaker for them, so it was really hard for me to leave them, but I was tired of, just taking care of everybody and not having a life, so I decided, I got married, and my husband and I had a restaurant, and so we, the restaurant was really successful, the marriage wasn't, and
What was the name of the restaurant?
it was called North American Bagel Company,
Huh.
and it was, kind of like a New York style bagelery where you could have like 40 different kinds of cream cheese, you could have veal parmesan, you could have meatloaf, you could have, it just went on and on.
That sounds awesome.
Deli after deli after deli, and I didn't care about if people had money for food or whatever. They could just come in and they could just eat and catch me later. And it was a very generous style restaurant, and he wanted a divorce, so I was like, well, you know what, I always wanted to come to California, so that's what I did. And so anyway, I lived in California here for 6 years, became really successful, used to work at Pebble Beach, used to work at the Hog's Breath Inn. I sang every night, really worked on my singing, and brought the house down. Actually became kind of a controversy at Pebble Beach, and then met a Texan and went to Texas. And then after that, I'd say about after 8 years, it didn't work out, and so I came here again because I needed to get away from Texas, because I had recently gotten married to a husband. He went to prison, and I needed to get away. But when I met my husband, I was buying my first home by myself. No more rich men, no more, no more nothing. I was, doing it entirely on myself. I had a great job, I had a great car. I had 4 very high-end show horses. I dated a lot of really hot men. I had gorgeous clothes. I had gorgeous furniture. I mean, I was just doing great. And then I met him, and he had a lot of mental, physical issues, and I loved him, and I wanted to help him. And I was at we all know, how much we can do and how much we can float and this and that, and so I already had my equation down, but bringing somebody else in the mix really kind of threw me over the edge, and so we spiraled down and kept spiraling and spiraling and spiraling, and we went to his hometown, Midland, Texas, stayed with his sister. Everybody hated us because I was transsexual, and we became the outcasts, and all of a sudden we were stuck with no money, no place to go, nothing in Midland, Texas, and we started staying at shelters. It was crazy because he inherited an oil company, and but it was in probate for over 2 years, so he wasn't going to get anything, and then he went to prison. I tried to kill myself, overdosing. Didn't work out, unfortunately. And so one thing led to another. I ended up getting a boyfriend, which I'm really ashamed of, but that kind of happens sometimes. And that turned into a disaster. He used to beat the crap out of me all the time. Last time he beat me unconsciously, and I was in the hospital, and I don't know where he is.
Wow. That's unbelievable. And so all these different turn events and bad relationship situations and everything ended up culminating in you ending up being in this situation, I suppose. Your heart of trying to help other people, and yet you spend all your time helping someone else, and then it's like there's no one there to help pick you up when you need it, right?
Well, the thing is being homeless, I've never felt so scared and so alive. It's the craziest thing in the world. There are so many people that I've met, that I've become friends with, that are homeless, or people that want to just help and share and care. They feel like it's an opportunity for them to do something good, which, thank God. And I say thank God, I don't really know what God is, but there is a force out there that within each of us and all around us that does want to make things possible. And so, every day I have an opportunity to maybe get a meal, to get some clothes, a blanket, and like recently I just got these really cool sweatpants and stuff, and I got a new sleeping bag, and it's great because I feel like I have a really good place now that I sleep at, that the police officers don't know where I'm at, and it's like I'm camping. Right. And a lot of people pay a lot of money to go camping, so and there's nothing more beautiful than being in Monterey, seeing sunrises, sunsets. I sleep right next to a fountain. I hear the fountain and the birds. I used to be so caught up in Learjets and yachts and high heels and makeup and hair, and I didn't want anything to get messed up. Well, obviously you can see it's not as tailored as it used to be, but there's a new beauty that I've seen in life, and so I want to make the world a better place. And I guess the thing is that I've had to learn a lot of different things about the different sides and the shadows and the sparkles of life, and so careful what you wish for.